Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Generals, thank you very much for being here. To Lieutenant General Jackson and General Grass, Lieutenant General Talley, and Vice Admiral Braun. In my hometown of Hayes, it's Brown, even though it's Braun. Thank you for your service to our country. Best wishes in the next phase of your lives, and we're very, very grateful for your service from the perspective of sitting where I'm sitting today and seeing you all and the individuals behind you. It gives me great comfort to know the leadership that our military, particularly in our Guard and Reserve, provide to our nation and provide in my home state of Kansas and states across the nation as the need arises. So thank you all for your service. Best wishes as retirement is approaching. Let me talk a little bit about troop strength. I've introduced, Senator Blunt has joined me in a bill that we have labeled posture. It is to stop the reduction in troop strength. And it affects the active military, but it also is important to the Guard and Reserve, and in fact would maintain the troop level strength that we've had, 350,000 soldiers in the Army National Guard, 205,000 soldiers in the Army Reserve, and 38,900 Marines in the Marine Corps Reserve. I assume that you would tell me, but I would like for you to tell me that that is important to you. I had this conversation with General Milley when he was in front of this subcommittee. He is, as you know, focused so much on troop readiness and made clear to me and to the committee the importance of having troop strength so that there is sufficient ability to train and have those needed who are serving elsewhere as our country demands that. It is dependent upon having a sufficient size of a military force. General Grass, I know you've worked closely with General Milley. I would welcome your thoughts about the importance of troop strength and suggestions. Wouldn't returning the Army National Guard in strength to 350,000 support the readiness that you all find necessary?
Senator Moran, thank you. First, let me just say that our cooperation with the total Army analysis right now that's going on is incredible, no doubt. And I'm totally in sync with Acting Secretary Murphy as well as General Milley on the 980,000, and Tim can talk more about it, but the 980,000 number for the Army total active Guard Reserve is a minimally acceptable risk. And the numbers you talk about, sir, we would go back in the Army Guard about 15,000, we would grow. That's about a $600 million a year bill to be able to pay that, fully burdened cost. So yes, we agree that if we could bring the strength of the Army National Guard back to 350,000, and we could have the money to support it, then that would be a great option today, especially looking at the threats around the world and the use of the Guard, both overseas as well as at home.
Well, General, that previous troop strength, there wasn't any excess capacity. It wasn't that by design we need less members of our Guard or Reserve. It was strictly a budget decision, I assume, and there is adequate need for that to be maintained. True?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. General Grass, you also have you and I have had a number of conversations, and I'm pleased you and the Air National Guard have recognized the importance of increasing our cyber mission capabilities. You have been particularly cognizant of what's happening in Kansas. As you know, the 177th at McConnell specializes in red teaming. They're the only NSA certified cyber red team in the Air National Guard. The issue that I find now to be a challenge is training. There is sufficient number of people who want to fill those slots, but an insufficient number of people who are training those individuals to do so. For example, one of the new cyber squadrons at McConnell has 42 vacancies. I don't think this is because we can't find the individuals who want to fill those 42 vacancies. It's because we only have 3 of those folks who are in a position to receive the training necessary this fiscal year. Your thoughts?
Senator, it's definitely something we, along with the Army and the Air Force, are looking at. You know, we're trying to accelerate as much as we can the stand-up of all of our units. We are looking at 30 states with a cyber capability by 2019. There are 3 levels of training that a cyber warrior goes through. It starts with their skill set, whether it's Army or Air. They get their basic skills. Then they get their certifications to work in the cyber range. And then the last one is their joint training that they receive. There is a backlog in training. And we're looking at that. We're trying to figure out what we can do from the National Guard perspective to help the Army and Air Force. And I know that both General Neal and General Cademy have been heavily involved with their services on trying to figure out where we can help.
It may be McConnell that you can provide the resources necessary to help train others. My time has expired. Let me just thank Lieutenant General Jackson for your commitment to the 931st. We've had conversations, and as a result of your efforts, but really what's taking place in Wichita, the designation has increased from a group to a wing, and I wanted to thank you for your involvement in that process.